inspired ode to Jimi Hendrix was called?
Yeah. I don't know. What was that called? Was that
I thought you were going to come up with some kind of a voodoo biddle.
Voodoo Whittle.
Which brings me to, I'm Rob Chapman.
And I'm the captain.
Greetings.
Greetings from Andertons TV in Guildfordshire land in England, in the heart of Europe.
I wish you could see what Peter Honora is doing behind the camera because it's amusing. And it's a refreshing morning feeling is what it is.
It is.
Jimi Hendrix.
He just won't go away, will he?
Hopefully.
Let's be honest with you. Even though he has gone away many moons ago, and even though he wasn't here for that long, he's just an enduring...
Well, look at what he spawned.
Godfather, isn't he?
He spawned people like Mayer.
Well, everyone.
Like Sace.
Yeah.
Like Anderton. Like...
Well, everyone. You can't listen. You cannot listen to anybody from Steve Vai and Satriani through to Mayer, and you can't listen to any and Philip Sace, and you can't listen to any of those guys without sort of going,
bit of Jimmy in there somewhere.
There's a bit of Jimmy in there somewhere.
That's true.
And anyway, look, as is the way of things when you get these super celebrity, influential, pioneering guitar players, the guitar brands that they were associated with love to do sort of, tributes and reminders and reissues and etc., etc. So 2018 is no different. And in the summer of 2018, Fender have launched, in conjunction with the Hendrix family, the Voodoo Child Strat.
Very cool.
Which is basically available either in black or in white. The two classic Strats that I guess you would associate with Jimmy when you see him playing.
They come with a load of stuff, don't they?
Yeah, well,
they come with 10-gauge strings in standard tuning, which is not what Jimmy did.
Do you think they were 10s or do you think they were 9s?
He used 10s. He used 8s. Well, a balanced tension set.
Which is weird as well, because simultaneously to this release, Fender are releasing the official, again, in conjunction with the Hendrix family.
This is exactly what
the
I was
official set of strings. And
yeah.
I don't think these are these, are they?
Not at all. No, Jimmy didn't use 10s. As soon as you get the guitar, whip them off and put on a set of balanced Jimmy gauges.
So, I feel a bit like pointless telling you all the things about the Hendrix Strat. I mean, as you know, Hendrix was left-handed. This is the point where you just fast forward the bit whilst I teach you to suck eggs. He was left-handed, so he would play a right-handed guitar upside down, strung the other way.
Can I just interject a point at that point? So the one thing that I think is a shame, although I do love these guitars, the one thing I think is a shame is this. Why didn't they just put the logo in the correct place and upside down? It would have looked so much cooler, and it would have been so much more legitimate. But instead you get this little tiny Fender logo at the top.
Yeah,
I think it's a real shame, man.
I don't know why they've decided to put the Fender logo on the right way around.
Well, I guess so that people can read it.
Yeah, I suppose in fairness, so many Hendrix Strats now, so many people play with an upside down headstock to give you that kind of Hendrixy vibe.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a normal thing now, and the logo is the right way up, or the wrong way up. So
it's the wrong right way up.
The kind of the stuff that... Let's be honest with you, 99.9999999% of why Jimmy sounded like Jimmy was because he was Jimmy.
Yes.
The stuff, though, that gives him maybe a different tonal vibe to maybe guys who just played a right-handed Strat was the string tension of the low E string.
Makes a big difference.
Because you've got a longer gap between the nut and the machine head versus the high E string is different, creates a different kind of tension and a different kind of vibe. And the bridge pickup, where it's angled so that on the if you like the right way up, the way the slant goes would push the bass end slightly towards more the middle and the treble end further away, giving you a slightly warmer bass end and a slightly treblier treble end, is now flipped back the other way. So you get this slightly tighter, brighter bass end and this very slightly warmer top end.
And also,
let me show you on a normal Strat.
The reason that he used a balanced and lighter set of strings wasn't because it was easier to bend and waggle around. According to his tech, it was because they wanted a balanced output per string on a chord strum.
Right.
So a lot of, if you use a standard set, the thicker
you're
the
talking about the
tension,
strings now,
yeah,
sorry,
the output of the bass strings is much higher than the output of the treble strings. So his chords will always sound different because of the balanced output.
That's so hard, isn't it, to know, given the scarcity of like millions of different types of string gauges back in the 60s.
Oh, that's what his tech said.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult to know whether strings were used because that's all they could get, or strings were used because that was the desired kind of. I think it's a shame, really, because we'd have found so much more out about Jimmy had he not died, you know, so young and so early in his career. So we'll just be left. I'm not even sure, you know, who even knows whether Jimmy could have told you why he liked things the certain way he did, or.
I think that's part
you
of the
know,
magic, though, isn't
it
it?
is part of the magic. There's that 27 Club, isn't there, where, you know, so many fantastic artists have died at that age, and you just go. I often think with Jimmy, because he never really had, you know, because he never wrote anything bad, or at least nothing was ever released, he's got this kind of godlike status. But inevitably, I think if he'd have just lived like Clapton to the, you know, like into his 70s or whatever like that, he would have done a bad album at some point, and everyone would have gone, moo, you know.
He would have moved on to Kemper and probably be playing, you know.
Can you imagine?
Crazy
I mean,
eight-string.
I would have loved to have known. Yeah, he might have been like one of these
Eight-string
pioneers
V.
of like headless, fretless, you know.
God, I'm glad I didn't live to see that.
Yeah, yeah. So look, so these guitars, they are tribute guitars. So you get a nice package of stuff with them. One of the things that actually Andertons has started doing on all or a lot of the high-end guitars we sell now, is all the photography that we do in our studio here is now on a little, which camera to go to, this one. You get this nice little memento wooden USB stick with all the photography on of your individual guitar that you get.
That's really cool.
You get, obviously, the pack with it, you've got the tremolo cover, if you want it to look sort of super vintage. You almost never see anybody playing with that on there, but that's there as well. You get this rather nice Jimmy-esque official Dunlop Hendrix Strat with them as well. You get this lovely leather-bound wallet. Now, Fender are doing this on all the custom shop stuff now. So you get what's called the shop floor traveller. So this is absolutely every specification. I'm showing you, I should be showing camera. This is every single specification of your guitar. You know, the frets that we use, the timbers that we use, the pickups that we used, absolutely everything on here. This is effectively like for the builder to know how to build it. That's really cool. And then you get the signed certificate. This one's signed by Chris Fleming, who's one of the custom shop directors. Nice little wallet there that you know, keep that with your guitar. If you ever buy a Fender custom shop guitar, never ever lose the certificate authenticity, because that massively affects the used value of your guitar if you lose that. Comes with a beautiful case, which you've probably seen before, but that's all rather nice. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to open it just to see if there's anything Hendrixy inside it. It's exciting. Yes, there's a bag of weed. No, no, it's just a standard custom shop.
That's a big flap.
Nice case.
That's a giant flap.
Lovely, lovely case. So there we go. I mean, do you want to take it through some tones? We've talked about the sort of specification.
Sure. Well, it's a Strat, so I mean, it's got Strat tones, but let's start up in the necky neck.
It's lovely. Look, they're really doing the whole custom shop thing so nicely now. This is a custom shop design guide, and it's not necessarily a brochure on any one particular guitar. It's a step-by-step guide as to how you would spec your own custom shop guitar.
Thank you for buying one guitar. Now consider buying another one.
Yeah. Did I mention? I can't remember if I mentioned or not that obviously you've got a black and a white version, and then you can choose to either have a brand new, which is what Rob's holding there, called NOS, New Old Stock. So this is imagine you've jumped into a time machine and gone back to the 60s and bought your Strat. Or you can have this slightly relic thing, which I believe they're calling the Lush or the Closet Classic finish. So it's very light relicing.
I really like the look of that.
So do I.
I know that relicing divides opinions. I'm all about dividing opinion.
Yes.
I think that's great.
I think it's great. I mean, I'm sort of perhaps plugged into something a bit more Jimmy-ish. I've got a Sheriff 44, which is the sort of the Marshally sounding, or the vintage Marshally sounding amp. I've got a bit of delay. And I've got some great pedals on the floor. This broadcast fuzz from Hudson and the sidecar, which...
Everyone's got a bit of that Jimmy spirit inside them. If they
What's my favourite? My favourite, Jim, is that.
That's your favourite Jimmy lick?
No, I don't know. They're just all favourites.
My
it's
favourite
just
Jimmy
every
lick
single thing
is
is
the
just
one where you
amazing.
go.
That's great. That was kind of what I was trying to do. I just didn't do it right, but that's a good one. So look, that's the deal, really. I mean, I'll put a link in the description below if you really want to go and read exactly what are all the specs and pickups.
How much
and all
they
that.
cost?
Oh yes, they're about £4,000.
Right.
So absolutely for the minted collector and fan of Jimmy, rather than the aspiring, gigging, sort of
what I'd
up and coming guitar
I'd buy
player.
2 of them and I'd swap the necks over.
What? Oh, you like?
I like that neck, but I want it on this body.
So you would have a completely NOS, because you can have that colour guitar in the slight relic.
Then that's what I want.
Yeah. So I just think it's great. So there we go. Look, Rob and I should just sort of jam out with something. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Andertons Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.